So it's obviously going to be very quick movement and shooting phases because we're all locked in combat. So we're just going to jump right into the assault. And so we go through the initiative orders once again. We get to initiative 4, the Termagants go. Any ones that are not in base contact do a pile-in move, so we get another 3-inch move. So we have to try to get into base contact. So I'm just going to keep moving these guys around. Although I'm sure that the guys in front of them will be dead soon. Because I just want to give that visual of them swarming around as you're fighting there. And then they get to make their attack. Now we only have 5, 10, 15, 18 left. And this time we know everybody's in combat because they're all nice and close. So we got 18 attacks hitting on 4s. That's a little better than my last one. Uh-oh. Wounding on 5s, and now your strength is only 3 too. Oh, another 5 wounds. So, now, here's where you have a choice. The Knob has a different save, or at least he has 2 wounds, is that correct?
But he has the same save.
So, you could choose to keep putting wounds on him.
Or, well, what happens now is that because, everyone has the same save, and so
I guess you have to roll them all
to save
together.
time, you roll them all together.
And then you choose where they go.
All right.
So there's 4 wounds.
There's 4 wounds, and so I have to do it closest first, so I can choose where the wounds go. But once I start with one model, I have to finish with that model.
Oh, so you have to keep putting wounds. So
I can't put one on the Knob and then the rest on someone else. Because although I could do this, I could choose he's closest, he's also closest, he's closest, and then the next person is a Knob, he's closest, but then I ran out of wounds, and so I can't finish off the Knob.
Okay, that's a good idea. So there is a way to give that. He's also a character, so you can do Lookout Sirs, but since he has the same save, it doesn't matter. If you had the Knob with a better armor save, for example, you could roll his save. You could say, I'm going to put it on him, but that's dangerous because you got to keep putting it on him. And so you have to roll your Lookout Sirs to see if it does get transferred somewhere else. But we'll cover that in another video in more detail. So heavy losses on the Orc side. We're going to move down to Initiative 2, which is these 2. They're already in base contact, so there is no pile-in. And so they get their 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Ooh, good hit. And then only wounding on 4s, though, because their strength is back to 3. Oh, only 1 wound. 6+ save. I do not save that. So I have to take one that's closest, so we'll take this guy. Then we go to Initiative Step 1, and the Knob gets his 3 attacks. He hits all 3 of them, and then he's 2s, and he kills 3. So he kills these 2, plus this guy, because he'll be the closest. So I like that visual. That's a really neat visual.
It's like the Orcs are just clawing through the center, and they're just kind of failing to realize that the flanks are close again.
They're like, oh, there's nobody behind us anymore.
And then pile in, and so he moves in.
No, I would go first.
Oh, it's because it's your turn, that's right.
Yeah, it's Tyrannus' turn, so I would pile in first. That's okay. We have to get this right.
Uh-huh.
And in this case, it probably wouldn't matter too much who piles in first. I'm just kind of guessing 3 inches. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, it's not gonna make a huge difference at this point.
And then you were already base contact, so you don't need to. So look at that. Look at that. So now we're gonna go. Oh no, wait. We didn't do combat resolution.
Oh. That's true.
I lost 3-4 guys. Yeah, you won combat again, and I'm still fearless, as we were saying. So
tar pitted.
It would be really boring if. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We'll do morale. We'll do more assault stuff in a different video where we get into all the other rules. This one is about transports, even though it was just for like 2 seconds. Okay, Orc's turn 2. So, done his movement and shooting phases. So we go into the fight sub-phase, and we start with the Termagants. Guys who aren't in base contact pile in, and that's about as good as we're gonna get. Doesn't matter. They're all there, so we got 5, 10, 14. So we're dwindling in numbers here, but so are the Orcs.
3 wounds will kill me.
Yep. Hitting on 4s. Oh, good solid hit again. Look at that. That's as many misses. That's way above average. And then wounding on 5s. Also above average. 5 wounds. I think that's it. You gotta roll 3 6s to stay alive. Nope. So, take the closest guys.
Oh.
and the Orcs lose.
And then you consolidate these 6 inches.
Yeah, which we won't worry about right now.
That's normal.
Yes.
So, that's... Huh.
So I think combination of the Overwatch and then you rolling really crap your first turn. That first turn with the orcs is always the most important because you're hitting at your highest strength, and you rolled incredibly crappy for your wounding.
But also the fearless. But a fearless wounds, that would have been a lot more dead.
Yeah, 5th edition, you would have done 4 additional wounds the first round, so that would bring us down to here. And then you would have probably done like 3 additional wounds because there'd be that many less attack in the second one. That'd bring us down to that. So you might have still lost, maybe, but there'd be a whole lot less Termagants alive. So Fearless has gotten a buff, which I don't know if I like. I know I'm a Tyranid player and I got a lot of Fearless, but Fearless is already bad enough. So it's kind of nice. Although I guess, you know, where the one area I do like it is it's all of a sudden going to allow me to do my multi-charges with the swarms and a single monstrous creature. Because the biggest problem that I had with that before is I was charged with a bunch of Hormigons, like 20 Hormigons, and then I'd also charge with a Trigon. And then he would just focus on the Hormigons, kill like 8 of them or 9 of them, and I would inflict 2 or 3 wounds because it's an elite squad, right? And that was good, it's 2 or 3 squad. But I'd lose combat by like 6. So the Hormigons would take 6 wounds, but the Trigon would also take 6 wounds. Even though nobody had touched him, he would take those extra fearless wounds. And that always bothered me. So I guess it's good for that reason, because it allowed me to not worry about charging in the monstrous creatures with a bunch of the small guys as well. Whereas before, I usually stopped doing that because it was just too much of a disadvantage. And so that's good. But I don't know if Fearless needed a buff. I think it was already good enough the way it was. But we'll see. We'll see in the battle reports how it all pans out. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this little mini tutorial. Itchy nose. And hope you learned a lot too. We sure learned a lot. I learned a few things.
I'm sad that orcs lost a few inches on your average charge run, but also the average charge run is more unreliable. So it's really hard to fly across. So but with the extra movement on the trucks, I can get into very reliable charge range. It's just I'm a lot more vulnerable to a counterattack.
Well, you got your WOG too, or your wall. Mm-hmm. Your wall.
But as you can tell, it wouldn't make a difference in that game.
Well, that one you rerolled, and that's unusual though.
True.
And you wouldn't just have one squad that's charging; you'd have all sorts. So you're gonna have, when you have a bunch of squads charging, you're gonna have some fail, theoretically. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. We have many more coming. We're actually gonna just turn this off and turn it back on and do another one. And so we're gonna have a bunch of these, some for free, some for the vault. So make sure that you're a vault member to get all of them. This is Matthew and Dan from MiniWarGaming. Happy wargaming.
See you soon.